My boyfriend of 5 years won't commit. How do I make him hear me? I'm a 29-year-old woman, and I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend, who's 31, for the past 5 years. I care about him deeply, and despite some rough patches along the way, we've managed to stay together. I genuinely believe we have something special. However, there's one persistent issue that's been bothering me for a long time now. He just never seems willing to talk about our future together. It's like the topic is off limits, or worse, completely invisible to him. Whenever I try to bring it up in conversation, he seems to get irritated. He tells me I'm putting unnecessary pressure on him and that he doesn't want to rush into anything or set any timelines. The only thing he ever says is that he'll be ready to take that next step when he's in a more financially secure position. But the problem is, he never defines what that means, and I'm left wondering if that day will ever come. We've been living together in London for a while now, and we even own property here. When we first started dating, we used to talk a lot about moving abroad together, about leaving London to experience new places, different cultures, maybe living in Asia or the US for a few years. That was something we both seemed excited about in the early days of our relationship. I had always envisioned us taking that leap together, trying out new jobs, making memories in a different part of the world. But here we are 5 years later, still in the same city. We're still in London because of his job. He's an entrepreneur, and his work demands a lot of his time. He's out late several nights a week for work-related events or drinks with colleagues, and even when he's home, his mind is often still on business. It's pretty clear to me that his career is his top priority, and it always has been. As for me, I had dreams too. I wanted to live in another country for a while, to soak up new experiences before we eventually settled down. I always hoped that by the time I was 28, I'd be married, and that we'd start building a family before I hit 30. He's known this about me from the very beginning. These aren't new revelations that I've suddenly sprung on him. Yet despite that, he sticks to his belief that we won't be able to take those steps until he feels secure enough to do so. But the frustrating thing is, he never defines what that actually means. When will he feel secure? What does secure even look like for him? I've asked these questions before, but I never seem to get a real answer. It feels like I'm stuck in this perpetual waiting game with no idea when, or if, the game will ever end. It's hard because I find myself constantly waiting for him. I feel like I'm putting my own life on hold just to fit into his schedule. There are times when I want to make plans with friends or set up my own social events, but I often hold off because I want to be available whenever he has free time. And when I'm at home, I take on the majority of the responsibilities. I handle most of the household chores, probably about 95% of them. I'm also the one who usually organizes our date nights or makes arrangements for us to hang out with friends. It's not that he never helps out. He does cook for me sometimes, and occasionally he'll plan a date if I ask him to. He'll even pitch in with the dishes now and then. But it's not consistent, and I often feel like I have to push him to do even the simplest things. For example, if I'm on my period and really craving some ice cream, I'll have to ask him to pick some up for me from the store. He doesn't seem to think about those little things on his own, even though I've told him many times that those small gestures mean a lot to me. Or take flowers, for instance. I've expressed to him how much I love getting flowers, but it's not something that comes naturally to him. He says it's just not his love language, which I understand to a point, but it doesn't make it any less disappointing when he forgets or doesn't make the effort. I'm in a place right now where I'm feeling increasingly frustrated. I do love him so much, and I want a future with him, but I also feel like I'm slowly wasting away, waiting for him to prioritize me and our relationship. It's like my needs and desires for our future together are being put on the back burner, while his career remains the sole focus of his life. I don't resent his passion for his work. It's one of the things I admire about him, but I'm starting to feel like I'm always coming in second place, and that's a really hard thing to accept when you've been with someone for this long. I've tried talking to him about how I feel. I've been open and honest, and I've even told him that I'm getting to the point where I'm not sure how much longer I can keep waiting. I've let him know that I'm feeling drained and unfulfilled, and that I'm starting to doubt whether he really wants the same things I do. But despite all of that, I don't know if he fully understands how serious I am. I'm not sure if he truly gets that I'm reaching a breaking point here. So now I'm stuck trying to figure out how to approach this in a way that will really make him hear me. How do I make him realize that I'm not just venting, that I'm actually considering whether this relationship can work if things don't change? I don't want to give up on us. I still believe in what we have, and I know there's potential for us to build a life together. But I also don't want to feel like I'm sacrificing my own happiness and dreams just to fit into his world. So, I guess that's where I am right now, trying to figure out how to have this conversation with him in a way that makes him really listen and understand how important this is to me. I'm at a crossroads, and I don't know what to do next. Any advice would be greatly appreciated.